I'd like to share the beginning of Wed Wabbit with you by Lisa Evans. It was such an ordinary evening, but every detail of it would matter. Every detail would become vital. "Wimbly woos," Minnie was wailing from her side of the bedroom. "Wimbly woos." "In a minute," said Fidge. "You're supposed to be drinking your milk." "But it's all warm and it's got a skin on top and it's revolting." "All right," said Fidge. "I won't be long." Fidge was packing. In under 36 hours, her mother, her sister aged 4, and herself, aged 10.5, were due to go on what was likely to be their best holiday for years, and she wanted to be ready. "Read me Wimbly woos, Fidge, please." "Not Wimbly woos again. Ask Mum." "Sorry, Fidge, I can't," called her mother from the living room. "I've got to finish making this hat by tomorrow morning." Fidge groaned and got to her feet. Her sister's side of the room was spectacularly untidy. As Fidge picked her way across to the bed, there was a loud squeak. "Don't twed on Eleanor," said Minnie. "Well, don't leave her lying on the floor," said Fidge. She stooped to pick up Eleanor, who was a purple elephant with a pink skirt and huge long pink eyelashes. "Eleanor's asleep," said Minnie. "Wed Wabbit made them all go to bed early because they'd been so naughty." Oh, Fidge looked down and realised that all the teddies and dolls had been arranged in long rows as if in a dormitory. Only Wed Wabbit was in bed with Minnie. "Okay," sighed Fidge, sitting on the bed. "You sure you want this book? We must have read it 8 million times." "I want it." "How about I just read 2 pages? "No." 5 pages? Mum, Fidge is being mean." "Oh, please, Fidge, just read her the whole book. It's not that long," called their mother. Fidge pulled a face, opened the Land of Wimbly woos, and started to read the horribly familiar lines. "In Wimbly land live Wimbly woos, who come in many different hues, in yellow, pink and green and blue, in orange, grey and purple too." The first picture showed a group of happy-looking Wimbleys. Each was a different colour, but they were all shaped like dustbins, with large round eyes and short arms and legs, and they radiated a sort of idiotic jollity. Fidge turned the page and continued reading in a bored, rapid mutter. "Yellow are timid, blue are strong, grey are wise and rarely wrong, green are daring, pink give cuddles, orange are silly and get in muddles, purple Wimbleys understand the past and future of our land." "Read it properly, with expression," commanded Minnie, who could almost certainly pronounce the letter R if she really tried, but who was too used to people going, "Oh, she's so cute," to want to make the effort. Fidge carried on reading with a fraction more feeling. "Many talents make a team so Wimbly woos can build their dream by sharing skills, plants, gifts and arts, and caring for each other's farts." "It's not farts," shouted Minnie, outraged. "It's caring for each other's hearts." "Oh, well, if you know it this well, you don't need me to read it, do you?" "Ah," said Minnie, "but Wed Wabbit wants to hear it too." "Does he?" Fidge looked at Wed Wabbit, who was sitting next to Minnie. He was her sister's favourite toy, bought from a charity shop just a week after their father had died. He'd been Minnie's favourite toy ever since, but Fidge had never liked him, perhaps because of the awfulness of that week. Wed Wabbit had a horribly smug expression, like a clever child who knows he's the teacher's favourite and never ever gets told off. "Please, said Minnie, placing a small hand on Fidge's arm. "Please read my book." So Fidge stopped mucking around and read the whole of it for the 8th millionth time. Over the course of 20 irritating pages, the Wimbly-Woos organised a game of hide-and-seek, had a big celebration picnic, and sang their deeply soppy Wimbly-Woo song. Fidge turned the page and looked at the last picture. It showed a mixed crowd of Wimbleys standing on a hill, looking up at the moon. At some point, Minnie had drawn the moustaches on all of the purple ones. Minnie herself was now almost asleep. Fidge tucked her in, slid the book onto the bedside table. Amongst the junk on the table was a carton of juice, and Fidge had accidentally toppled it over. Now a pool of orange was spreading all over the tabletop. Hastily, Fidge looked around for something to block the pool with. Wed Wabbit caught her eye, his infuriating smirk as annoying as ever, and before she knew what she was doing, Fidge had caught up Minnie's favourite toy and was blotting the pool with Wed Wabbit. The effect was miraculous. He acted just like a sponge, the pool of orange steadily shrinking and then disappearing without a trace. Fidge, feeling relieved but a bit guilty, checked that Minnie was asleep and sacked Wed Wabbit on the radiator and went back to her packing. It wasn't until the next afternoon that the terrible thing happened. And if you want to know more, you need to find Wed Wabbit in the library.